Right, here we go. This is my presentation on my favorite fashion designer here, Kanga. See? I don't know if you can see that. That's supposed to say... What's this say? That's supposed to say the true legacy of Lady Dale Tryon. Because apparently in 2008, there was a documentary called Prince Charles of the Mistress. Why are we calling this woman Prince Charles of the Mistress? Kanga collection. My favorite fashion collection. This is... I'm going to share this to my website. Look, I called her a true fan of Queen Camilla and Queen Dale. And then these are just pictures of Dale that I added. Like bouncy ones because she was a bouncy, delicious person. Okay, early life of Kanga. Look at her. This one. Why is it too bright? Wait a second. I need to brighten my laptop. I forgot to brighten. This should be good. Now you can see the early life of Kanga. Oh, I love that picture. Oh, and I like the furniture and the clothes she's wearing. Like very bouncy. Here, that dress is my favorite. And then she's going out hunting. Now this is Kanga. So, you know, she was born in Australia, Melbourne, on the 3rd of January 1948. Yep. And she was a bubbly, vivacious socialite. She would go to parties and nightclubs, especially like Camilla. She had many boyfriends and wasn't shy of having many boyfriends. And then, you know, she and Camilla weren't virgins, so that really got them in trouble with the well, not in trouble with her family, but they couldn't, you know, be Princess of Wales. And anyway, Lord Tryon set eyes on this beautiful woman first before his friend Charles. Like, her husband was ex-husband. Lord Tryon was a very good friend of Charles, the Prince of Wales, now king. So he said he found this beautiful jewel first. This is Kanga now. The second one is what is spina bifida? Oh yeah, during her childhood she was born with spina bifida, and then I've researched that spina bifida. Hey, that's not what is supposed to happen. Now, spina bifida. I'm going to read this out. Okay, spina bifida is a very type of neurotube defect. That neurotube is structure that eventually develops into the baby's brain and spinal cord. That's why it's mainly there to do spina. And also I found in the Inspire Foundation that Dale supported. And I kind of got in contact with them because I said I'm not related to her or her friend. I've never met her, but she inspires me in the fashion industry and her charitable causes, so I want to help that charity in her honor. And you can research what spina bifida is, and you can have it in your childhood and it kind of comes into your adulthood. But she was a very strong woman. Like, Kanga was a very strong woman, even though if she had spina bifida, she was very strong. Also at the age of 48, 49, that's when it got more worse, especially... Oh, I'm not gonna spoil things. So, Kanga and Camilla, rivalry. I called Kanga and Camilla rivalry. Now, these two beautiful women were actually rivals. Their rival was a push-you-pull-me. Now, the push means they were very competitive because both of them were very competitive. They competed who's best at comforting the Prince of Wales, who's the best mother and wife, who's best at cooking, who's just smart, who's doing this and that. They just competed against each other, and that's the push. And then the pull-me, they had mutual respect, and let me show you on the next slide where the mutual respect, the pull-you comes first. So this one. So this is Kanga and Camilla sitting together at a pole match in 1976. So that shows their pull-me in their rivalry, push-you-pull-me rivalry, that they had mutual respect and they could sit down together in a public setting without fighting. Well, there might be have some bickering. And call this are real life Glinda and Elphaba. Now Dale, like Glinda, she always was bubbly and vivacious and very popular, very funny, and she was loved and adored by many. However, none of them were her true best friends, and she always wanted a true best friend. Now, like Glinda, well, Glinda and Elphaba had that moment in the Emerald City and the Wizard's Palace to make up and make amends, but Dale and Camilla never had that chance to make amends. And I really wish they did have that chance to make amends, because they find Elphaba, like Camilla, is very misunderstood. All they wanted is to help animals and the nature, and are very down to earth and smart and book lovers. Elphaba and Camilla are book lovers. And they're just misunderstood, and people call them Wicked Witch of the West or Wicked Witch, and it's not nice. I know, kind of like Diana's the Dorothy. Now this is the actor Sarah Miles, who claims to be Dale's close best friend, but let me show you. Go back to the 2008 documentary Prince Charles and the Mistress and watch her in Sarah's interviews, how she speaks about Dale. You know, when she described she and Dale saw this Black Mariah one pulling up, and Dale was panicked and shocked because she knew they were meant to come for her, and then she went to dial the Queen. Now, in that moment, Sarah described that she wanted to snap to the phone of Dale and really ask, "Oh, are you really the Queen? Like, excuse me, like your friend is having like a breakdown, a mental breakdown, and scared like what's gonna happen next, and she knows she's not mad, and you're not helping there. You're just standing there wanting to speak to royalty." So I feel like she was really after, you know, Dale's money and Dale's royal connection. And also, there was an article I've read where Dale's daughter Victoria talks about the struggles. She lost both her. Victoria mentioned she loves both her mom and her father, but she was close to her father. But also on her mother's funeral. So Dale's funeral was supposed to be private, and Sarah just came in with the journalist, and I think that got the Tryons really furious. And Victoria called Sarah Miles a so-called friend of her mom. But anyway, I don't believe, like, watching the documentary and seeing how Sarah's talking about Dale, it doesn't sound like she's a true friend. Or when Kanga and her husband were divorced, Dale had nowhere to go, so she booked herself at the Ritz. Sarah joined her, took a suite or something, and then Sarah mentioned that Kanga lived the life of Riley. Now, I researched what that phrase meant. The phrase meant, it's an old-fashioned phrase. When someone said the person lived a life of Riley, means that person had a comfortable and easy life. And then I'm thinking, where have you been buried your head under? Like, don't you see that Kanga's life is not easy? She just fell from a high window. She's paralyzed waist down, a paraplegic that they call. She has suffered from spinal bifida. She did work hard for her fashion business. So she worked hard for her fashion business, convinced Princess Diana to wear one of the designs, because, you know, Diana was very popular among the fashion industry. So Dale said, why not, you know, make my close friend's wife wear one of my designs. And yeah, and people say Dale used such a scheme to get back to the royals, but she was always like, well, not always friends with the royals. She only became friends with the royals after marrying her husband. Now, I call this slide. Now, that's Eve Pollard and Christopher Wilson, who Dale trusted the most. And I think he looks very suspicious. The way he talked about Dale on the documentary and everything is just... And there's some Daily Mail article as well, like in 2010, where he really talks bad about Dale's collection. Like, you don't even care about a fashion line. So I call this, fake and toxic friends, because, the press and journalists were toxic. And these were kind of the people that were on the documentary talking about Dale, and they were describing her as Prince Charles or the Mistress. The fun fact, Dale's children and her ex-husband never saw her as Prince Charles or the Mistress and said they were just friends. Oh, look here, promoting a fashion. yeah, Kanga's a true fashion queen. I have to call her my true fashion queen. And voila, I'm gonna share this on my website. And this is where I just talked about her being a true fashion queen, and not, like I mentioned, not doing it to scheme back to the royals. Yes, Diana wore one of her designs, but I think the sad thing is that Diana only wore one of her designs to kind of make Camilla mad, because she knew Camilla and Dale were kind of rivals. But I feel like, well, Camilla is one person that doesn't really go on interviews and speak about a rivalry or friendships. But I do feel like, because in the push you pull me rivalry, there is always, like in the pull me, there's mutual respect, but also admiration and support. So Camilla quietly, properly, and discreetly supported and showed admiration towards Dale's Kanga collection. But, you know, if you look at Camilla's fashion before she became a royal, you can see that Camilla's more of a, not, I wouldn't say tomboy, but maybe she was a tomboy, but she would wear mainly trousers. So, and because Kanga collection is mainly women's wear, dresses and skirts, and old costumes, Camilla said, oh, I'm gonna just pick my the girly female friends, and I'm just there supporting her. Yeah, I love that, and she's very smart. Look at this. I adore her. Now this is where main fashion promotion is when Diana wore one of her designs. Now this is Diana at a pole match with Charles, and she had to give, as Charles' wife, had to give the trophy. Now this is like when a lot of people saw the Live Aid concert in 1985 and saw Diana wearing this dress from Kanga collection. People went probably to Kanga and said, oh, I saw Diana wear this to a Live Aid concert or to this pole match, please could I buy one? But maybe like Dale wanted a fan of her, like someone who's a fan of her and a fan of her collection. I love Kangas. Like, I don't wear Kanga collection because Diana wore it. I'm wearing Kanga collection, and I love Kanga collection because I am such a huge fan of Dale, and I admire her a lot, and she's so adorable. Even when she was in the wheelchair, like, I show you a picture later when Dale's in the wheelchair, she's so cute. So this is Dale Kanga at a royal events, and this is at the Royal Ascot in 1992. And then this is again like 1992 at a polo match with her daughter Zoe Tryon, and here again in 1985 is where she promotes her fashion line, and every fashion designer would do that and would agree with me that she did it correctly to promote her fashion, because she wants to make money off her fashion collection, and that's how you make money. Now this is like, what's this? This is the godfather, like the godson, because her eldest son Charles is Charles' godson. And here this is also the Kanga Ball in December 1990 that she organized as a socialite, and she always, you know, organized parties and events. And I love that dress, but let me show you, there was a similar dress. Oh my gosh, look at her. This is after her accident. This is at Inspire Foundation with her probably brother, nephews and nieces here, and her children were same age as Camilla. Anyway, so these are brother and nephew nieces. I love that. If that's her niece, like I can see that her nephew nieces and like children and dogs would always, and animals would warm up to Dale just as they warm up to Camilla. Now this is Charles and Dale at a SANE. Now SANE is a mental health helpline that Dale was chairwoman of, and she attended this SANE launching event with the Prince of Wales. And this is where she did the Inspire Foundation, and I love her. Look at her in the wheelchair, she's so cute and adorable. Lunch with the royalty. Okay, sorry. The other previous slide was about her charity line with Sane and Inspire Foundation. Now this is where she has lunch. Don't. I'm not feeling jealous or anything. I want to have lunch with Kanga. I'm not crying. I want to have Kanga for lunch. Kanga time. Kanga and family. So I decided to put some pictures up with, this is Kanga and her eldest daughter Zoe Tryon in 1990s, I think, where they were at a fashion show. And then this was Kanga at going hunting. This was Kanga and a family again. This was late 1970s where the twins were born. This was Kanga and her husband. And then again when they were young before they got married. This is her in a family photo. I love that photo, family photo. This is her again looking like a style icon. This is her and her husband. This is her. That's I think Victoria. Headshots and everything, and she's just adorable. The Kanga collection. Look at this. This is a costume. She was like a costume designer as well as women's wear. Now, where's my favorite design? Oh, that's my favorite design. I love this blue dress. And then that's my favorite pink top I found on Etsy. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love these photos of Dale. I can't stop looking at her face. And thank you for watching. Now, people say they kind of kiss, but that probably was a kiss on the cheek. You know, like how the royal and nobility always do that? Like, look how cute she looks in a wheelchair and very, oh, that's cute. Yeah, this is cute. She's adorable. Like in a hairstyle, I just want to picture her cheeks. Oh, let me show you. Yeah, she was at these two are pictures I found where of her in the Bleak Midwinter film premiere. Now I can't stop looking at Dale. Like, look at her, she's so pretty. I love this dress. This is my favorite dress that she wore. She's just so pretty. She looks like a fashion queen. Thank you.